As you're aware, the Hallmarks of Excellence model is composed of three leadership fundamentals: mastering your core, forging the path, and ensuring execution. Over the next few minutes, we're going to take a comprehensive look at the first of these three leadership fundamentals, mastering your core. To understand mastering your core, let's take a look at a quote by internationally renowned psychologist and Harvard Business Review and New York Times writer Daniel Goldman, the author of Working with Emotional Intelligence. Goldman says, "The rules for work are changing. We're being judged by a new yardstick, not just by how smart we are or by our training and expertise, but also by how we handle ourselves and each other." Mastering your core is all about effectively handling ourselves and those we lead. With that as a foundation, let's get started. How are you with mastering your core? Your Hallmark scores are designed to give you helpful clarity and valuable self-awareness that will eventually allow you to craft an inspiring personal development plan that lays a pathway for your growth as a leader. Specifically, the Hallmarks will help you leverage your existing strengths and learn new skills. In addition, your Hallmarks report will also give you an elevated vision for your potential as a leader. Remember that the fundamental of mastering your core is connected to and comprised of three corresponding competencies, and each competency is comprised of 5 attributes. This simple structure is designed to be a helpful guide to leveraging and mastering your core. Let's start first with your 3 competency scores. Ask yourself, what do these scores tell you about how you master your core? What competencies would you like to explore further? What would you like to be able to do in that particular area? And what's important about that? What do you want to learn in order to make that happen? These questions, once they're answered and acted upon, will position you well to truly master your core. Next, we recommend that you take a deep dive into the 5 attributes that comprise each competency. Reflect on what stands out to you. What would you like to improve and work on? And what's important about that? What ideas come first to mind for strengthening each of those competencies? What habits would you like to begin? What habits would you like to stop? And what will you prioritize next in order to maximize your growth as a leader? Understanding your scores and having self-awareness is important, but it's equally important to make decisions, build plans, and take actions that will advance your effectiveness as a leader. You won't maximize the value of the Hallmarks if you don't experiment with new ideas and practice your skills. Ask yourself, what one new habit or idea will have the greatest impact and eventually lead towards mastery? That process will require a commitment to a daily transformational plan or habit. To remain inspired and well-equipped, you'll need constant feedback from either an executive coach or other colleague to keep you, as a leader, accountable to your vision, your goals, and your highest values. Lastly, you'll benefit by understanding that emotional intelligence creates a climate within your team or organization. Your goal as a leader is to create a positive emotional climate that is contagious, meaning that it spreads throughout your team and your organization. By mastering your core, your goal is to create a positive climate where people flourish and achieve outstanding results. As you focus on further strengthening yourself in this area, ask yourself questions like these. What is the positive climate I want to create? What does that positive climate look like, and what's important about that? What can I do to instill and expand that positive climate? And what will I need from others to advance that positive climate? Mastering your core is about managing your inner life, your core, We believe that mastering your core is like all of leadership. It's a lifelong journey. No matter if you're an emerging leader or a seasoned senior executive, there's always opportunity for more deeply understanding yourself and more effectively working with others. Mastering your core is a pretty strong word, and it's not something that comes quickly or easily. In fact, our experience working with top-performing executive leaders would suggest that mastering takes years of intentional reflection, learning, and practice. However, years of experience alone won't make you a world-class leader. In order to achieve your next level of best, you need to first be intrinsically motivated to grow. In other words, you need to deeply desire it for yourself. Growth as a leader needs more than motivation and desire. World-class leadership requires that you make choices and take action. Specifically, you need to adopt a new mindset, practice new skills, and set challenging goals for yourself. As you commit to investing in yourself and your own development, our experience working with highly effective leaders suggests that your investment of time and energy is going to pay off, naturally driving results and exponentially impacting your organization. We believe mastering your core starts by asking the simple question, what do I value? Mastering your core has very little to do with touchy-feely ideas. Instead, mastering your core is about the essentials of decision-making and strategic choices. We know that when leaders have intentionally explored and know their own values and their organization's values, they're able to embody those principles when navigating the oftentimes tricky waters of leadership. Put simply, our values become our North Star that guide our decisions, our mindsets, and the actions we take. In other words, our values define our leadership and the impact we make on our organization. As leaders, we need to consistently be asking ourselves these essential questions. What are my values? What are my organization's values? What's important about those values? What can I do to honor those highest ideals? And what will be the result of honoring and acting on those values? Besides exploring their own values, we also know that leaders who are mastering their core are empathetically aware of other people's values. They often ask themselves questions like, what is it that other people value? What's important about those values? What can I personally do to help others honor their own highest values? Leaders who demonstrate this heightened level of self and other awareness are most effectively able to unlock the highest potential outcomes because they take actions that align people's values, motivations, and their individual and collective strengths. At first glance, these may seem like rudimentary ideas, but in reality, many leaders, including some seasoned executives, don't give intentional consideration to how they impact and align the people around them. As you're hopefully already aware, your Hallmarks assessment results are one of the best ways to know yourself as a leader, your strengths, your vulnerabilities, and even the chinks in your armor. In addition to your assessment results, leaders are always served well by getting honest feedback from others who can help you see what you can't see yourself. This helps leaders more fully know how they're impacting the people around them. It's so easy for leaders to be blinded by looking only at other metrics such as achieving specific goals or driving revenue targets. The truth is that the best leaders measure themselves against how they achieve goals and how they impact others. In fact, research shows the world's most effective leaders exponentially achieve goals by positively impacting those they lead. Mastering your core also relates to your own internal core mindsets and assumptions that follow you into every situation and sometimes unconsciously inform how you lead. For example, mastering your core invites leaders to embrace a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. Now, what exactly does that mean? To better understand this concept, it may be helpful for you to further explore the neuroleadership concept of growth mindset by Stanford University professor and Yale-educated psychologist Dr. Carol Dweck. Dr. Dweck's research shows that some leaders tend to keep sabotaging their own improvement by holding to what's called a fixed mindset. Now, a fixed mindset is a belief system that says, I have to be right all the time and am always correct. People with that mindset often refuse to admit their mistakes, so they don't naturally tap into the rich learning and corresponding growth that's available to them when mistakes are made. As a result, they often don't achieve true mastery and reach their highest potential. On the other hand, people with a growth mindset continually seek to learn and grow. They acknowledge that every mistake and success offers insights and lessons that can be quickly learned and, most importantly, applied to an upcoming situation. These people don't hide themselves from the feedback they get from others. Instead, they actively seek it because they know others can help them see what they may not be able to see themselves. As we wrap up, keep in mind, mastering your core begins by exploring your own values, mindsets, assumptions, and tendencies. With that self-awareness, you'll better understand your actions and corresponding results. Mastering your core invites you to ask the essential questions. What kind of leader do I want to be? How do I want to be known? What impact do I want to have on others around me? And what will I need to learn about myself and others to get there?